What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Import Modify. We're going to continue on getting those bushings installed, and the Powertrix coilovers should be in today, so stay tuned. Okay guys, so where we left off last time, I got the pins out and I was having a hard time getting the sleeves of them out, and I just didn't film this. I went ahead and focused this morning on getting these out without, worrying about filming too much, because it's very time consuming trying to film it and everything. But I ended up finding the sweet spot, and basically what I did was took the Sawzall and I ended up cutting reliefs in it like that. And it was very hard to get a flush cut all the way through without worrying about gouging into the control arm. So I just cut at an angle and was able to relieve the tops, and then I took a chisel and a punch and pushed the tab down like that, made a tab, and then I sprayed WD-40 in the relief area, and I let it sit for a while, and then I used a combination of sockets to brace the bottom and also used one to press from the top, and was able to get them out in that manner. So they're out now. That fight is over with, and we still have the front control arms to do, but that isn't going to be that big of an issue now because I know what to do. So we got them out. As you can see, they're out. This thing is ready to go now to be prepped for paint. So I need to get all the rust and all that off of them, clean them up a lot better, and then spray paint on them. And after I let them dry, we'll go ahead and install those bushings that are over there into the control arms and then get them mounted up on the car. Then from there, we're going to go ahead, get the front control arms off, do the same thing, and those Powertrix coilovers should be in today. So I'll have the rear assembly put back together. We'll have the front assembly taken apart, and I'll get those control arms with the new bushing swapped in, and then we'll have it all prepped and ready to go for the next episode when we'll do the install and review of the Powertrix. So let's go ahead and get busy on this. Okay guys, so I got my brake line kit in, and I went with Technofit, and it is a cheaper alternative to the more expensive brands like Goodrich and those types of brands. And I've used these in the past and they work great. So I think I paid like $128 for this kit. I'll leave a link in the description. I got them off of eBay, and you can't go wrong with them. And this is a 6-piece kit. You have one for each 4 corners of the vehicle, and then you have 2 for the rear that go from the body of the car to the control arms in the rear, and that will give you a firm brake all the way around. Here's that soft line I was talking about from the body to the line that goes through the rear control arm. So with this kit, it'll give me firm brakes all the way around, and that's gonna dramatically improve the braking feel. And I love having steel braided brake lines in all of my project cars because it is a very cheap thing to do, and you see results right away. So we'll get to installing these once we get all that prepped and painted and get these bushings in. And I still got to get the rubber off of the pins, so let's go ahead and get this done. Alright guys, so we're in my office right now. I'm actually editing the video that y'all are watching right now. So I went to run an errand, and when I got back, there was a notice on my door that I missed the delivery for the Powertrix. So I called to track the package to get in touch with customer service. It showed that the package was delivered, and it was some unanimous name that the guy put down, and it was a big old hoorah, and I had to jump through a lot of hoops in order to get the package tonight. And I just got back from FedEx itself, and I finally got the package, thank God, because I wouldn't have been able to, have it till next week. So I got it now. It's right there, and let's go ahead and take a quick peek at it. There it is. There's the fronts right there. And they actually have adjusters right here, man. That's cool. So you don't have to, get to it from the top, I guess. Maybe they have it from the... Nope. Okay, so they're just adjusted right here on the bottom at the base. And that is very cool indeed. So cool. Those are the coilovers that we're going to be installing on the next episode whenever we do Import Modify's first sponsored video by Powertrix. So thank you, Charles Park, for hooking this up. And I'm going to put these bad boys to good use. So these are the UL coilovers. They're the ultralights. They have the aluminum body as opposed to the RT, which is the road and track, I believe. Now, I was talking to him about spring rates, and we decided to go with 8 kg fronts, 6 kg rear. He said that that's a good one for street and, occasional track. So we're good to go on this. I finally got them in, and I'm totally stoked. So we got that to look forward to on the next episode. So I'm going to go ahead now, edit some video, and we'll cut back to the scene of me installing the bushings and control arms on the car. Okay guys, so it's the next day, and the control arms are nice and cured up. And I got to tell you, I really dig this paint a lot. It's the same paint that I used before, the Rust-Oleum Professional. And it is a very durable paint, and it works great on chassis components. So that's what I painted it with, and these things look night and day now. So I got the bushings over there. I got a block so I can mimic what I got on the floor up on the table. We're going to go ahead and install the bushings on the control arms. Alright, so I just want to go over the configuration of the bushings for this kit. Now, as you notice, I have all these bushings right here. They're obviously more than what is needed to do the job. And the reason for that being is it gives you options right here on the outside board, which is this side. And you're pretty much fixed on the inside board right here. So it's calling for a 64300, which is this guy. And it's calling for a 64299, which is this guy. And using the pin, you can see it's nice and snug in there. Also on the other side as well. Nice and snug. And also, they give you different options on the outside board. They say you can use the same configuration, the 300 and the 299, or you can go with the 298 and a 297. Now I was comparing the two with this pin here, because this is the outside board pin. It is a little bit smaller in diameter compared to the inside board. And basically, going with the ones that it calls for the inboard, it's a little loose. And these right here actually fit it very well. So this is the 298 and a 297. So I'm going to go ahead and go with this configuration. And we're going to go ahead and install these. Now once you get these bushings in, you want to make sure you use your super grease. And that's going to prevent any squeaking and stuff like that. And also it's going to give it lubrication so the pin can rotate in the bushing. So we're going to go ahead and install these. Now I got my mallet here. We'll use that to hammer them in if we can't push them in, but we'll see how that goes. So just a little FYI for you guys who are interested in getting this kit. So you do have two options on the outside board, and I'm going to start with these and see how it turns out. And a person had commented last night on one of my previous episodes, including the bushings, and he said the reason they do that is because it gives it, a little bit more room for the pin to rotate if it's kind of binding with these bushings. So makes sense. We'll start with these and see how it goes. Well, Houston, we have a problem, and I did not notice this, but looking at it right here, it says factory sleeve. Now, when I first glanced at this, I thought it was talking about the journal piece right here on the control arm being the factory sleeve, but obviously it was talking about the factory sleeve of the factory bushing. So if you look at it right here, it is just way too loose, and I destroyed those sleeves taking the bushings out. So I kind of screwed myself, and I was looking at the front control arm bushings, and it's the same setup. So I kind of put myself in a little bit of a pickle. So I'm gonna have to do some research real quick and see if they have sleeves that I can buy, or am I gonna have to buy a whole nother set of factory bushings, burn those out, and utilize the sleeves. So that is yet to be seen. And this kind of just puts a hold on things for a moment. So let me figure out what I'm going to do, and I'm going to get back to you guys. Well, guys, that was a very expensive mistake, and $144.80 later at the Z store. I got me some stock bushings so I can get those in, only to burn them out so I can utilize the shells, or the sleeves rather, for the polyurethane bushings. But when I get those in, I'm just going to send them off to my buddy's shop. He's a professional welder. I'm going to have him torch those out. I'm just tired of dicking with all that. And I have him do the fronts as well, so we can be set up for when we're able to tackle that up on the next episode. So I got the brake calipers off right here in brackets. I'm clean those up. We're going to paint those. I'm going to take off the front ones as well, and we're going to clean and paint those too, so we can have all the suspension and everything nice and pretty, along with the calipers for the new brake lines whenever that happens. And that's going to happen on the next episode. And then after we get all this hashed out, then we're going to get to the Powertrix coilovers. One of those things you got to roll with the punches, you know what I mean? So learn off my mistakes, guys. All right, let's go ahead and do this. These things come out beautiful. I love this paint so much. Control arms are nice and beautiful. Calipers are nice and beautiful. And like I stated, I use the Rust-Oleum Professional. That stuff is such great paint. Now, a little tip for you guys. Whenever you're spraying this paint, I use a heat gun. So whenever the coat is wet, I use the heat gun and I heat dry it the first initial dry is like a heat dry, and it'll kind of like bake the outer shell of the paint, and then you give it adequate time to cure like that. And I find by doing that, it actually makes the paint really, really durable. And that stuff is like Frank's hot sauce. I love to put it on every damn thing. So, you know, I have used the brake caliper paint. I've used chassis paint in the past, and I just can't say enough about that paint. And speaking of paint, sorry guys that this episode turned into quite a paint show. I didn't mean for that to happen, obviously, but I learned me a actual very expensive lesson, a $144 lesson when it comes to bushings. That's a lot of money to pay for some freaking bushings. But anyway, it is what it is. I learned my lesson. You guys can learn off my mistakes. And next episode, we're going to have those bushings in. I'm going to have my buddy burn them out. We're going to get those things mounted up finally. We're going to do the brakes along with the brake lines. We're going to get it all knocked out. So then the episode after that, we can install the Powertrix coilovers and do it right, because I have to have everything set up, you know, ready to go for the coilovers. I don't want to have other things going on in that episode other than the coilovers, because it is a sponsored episode. So with that being said, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed the content regardless. Y'all know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. See you guys on the next episode.